What is going on, comic book fans? Welcome back to Bruce and Stephanie Comics. My name is Bruce. Today is June 1st. Let that sink in. June 1st, guys. We're almost halfway through 2022, and today is New Comic Book Day, the best day of the work week. But guys, we're not talking about new comics in this video. No, we're looking off into the future at this weekend's upcoming final order cutoff in next week's New Comic Book Day and another comic book speculation recommendations. In today's video, I'm going to recommend some books that I think is good speculation on both final order cutoff and New Comic Book Day. But before we go over the books that I think you guys might want to speculate on, we do need to cover my two reminders. But if you guys have heard my reminders before, there are timestamps right down here. You guys can go ahead and skip forward to the juicy speculation. But if you guys are new to this series, please stick around for these reminders because these are very important if you are just getting into speculation. Alright guys, so my first reminder will always be, you guys have to do your own research. This is a video all about speculation. So I'm going to make some educated guesses on what I think is good speculation, both on final order cutoff and next week's New Comic Book Day. But what I suggest is you guys need to go check out the comic book YouTubers you trust, other comic book websites that you trust, and other comic book apps that you trust. Gather the most information possible so that way you guys make the best decisions possible for yourself, because remember, you're spending your own hard-earned money on these books. Not my money, your money. And my last and final reminder, because there are only two reminders, guys, is that there are delays with comic books. So sometimes the book will show up multiple times on my final order cutoff spec list, or also multiple times on my New Comic Book Day spec list because its release date got moved for one reason or another. All right, guys, those are my two and only reminders that I have for you guys. So let's go ahead and dive into this week's spec. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into all the books that have speculation coming out on this week's final order cutoff, which is June 4th for your DC and Scout books and June 5th for your Marvel and all the other indie publishers. Now you guys know we always kick off our final order cutoff in New Comic Book Day list with our cover lover picks for the week. These are my picks for books that I think might do well on the secondary market based on the cover art alone. We have two covers that I think you guys might want to consider for speculation. And the first book up is Amazing Spider-Man number 5, the Mercado variant. Now this is an open order book, so you can order as many of these as you would like, but this cover is gorgeous in my opinion. I love the white background, I love the pose that Spider-Man is in, and I also just think this is some gorgeous artwork. And I think this could sell for a premium on the secondary market in the future. Not right now, not in the near future, but way in the distant future, because I think this cover is really, really gorgeous. But I wouldn't order heavily on this. If you're picking one copy up for yourself, maybe pick up a second or third copy, squirrel them away, and see what happens in the future. And the second cover that I just absolutely love is Spawn Scorched number 7, featuring Jessica Priest on the cover. It also has this awesome bright red background. And I have currently been selling a lot of my old Spawn books, and a lot of them are selling really well based on the cover art alone. And I think if you guys pick up a couple copies of this book, squirrel them away. I say that a lot. And this is a cover that I think you should do exactly that for. Alright guys, it is now time to dive into all the books that have speculation coming out on this weekend's final order cutoff. There are 6 books in total, a couple DC, a couple Marvel, and 1 indie book. So let's go ahead and dive into this list. And the first book up is DC vs. Vampires Killers number 1. This is a one-shot featuring Harley Quinn leading the human resistance against the new vampire world order. It sounds really cool. Is that really speculation? I don't know, but it does feature a really gorgeous Harley Quinn cover, and she's beating up some zombies, so I absolutely love it. But let's go ahead and move into the next book. And the next book up is Deathstroke Inc. number 10, and the Key Collector app says this is the origin of Deathstroke, but if you also look up Deathstroke on the Key Collector app, you will see Tales of the Teen Titans number 44 is actually the true origin of Deathstroke, and you guys will also recognize that cover because it is the issue where Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing, which is a very big key because it's the origin of Deathstroke in that happening. So is this really the origin of Deathstroke? You guys can go ahead and decide for yourself. Next up is Harley Quinn number 16 with the origin of Verdict, a new villain for Harley Quinn, which looks really cool. Next up is Avengers Forever number 7. Now the solicitations for this is, why is there a secret prison filled with Steves, none of whom have ever heard of the super soldier serum? I don't know. Why is there a secret prison filled with Steves? Next up is Public Domain number 1. Now this was originally published on Substack, and it was written and illustrated by Chip Zdarsky. This is a series about the world's greatest meta-fictional comic character, the Domain, that addresses the battle between comic publishers, corporations versus their creators. Now this is pretty cool because I'm a huge fan of Chip Zdarsky. I didn't subscribe to his Substack, so I'm super excited to pick up this copy of Public Domain number 1. And the last and final book that has speculation coming out on this weekend's final order cutoff is X-Men Hellfire Gala number 1, an oversized one-shot which is going to introduce us to a new team of X-Men because we don't have enough already. Alright guys, it is time for my spec pick of the week for final order cutoff. I already went back over the list a couple times, and I'm going to tell you right now, my spec pick of the week is Save Your Money. There's no books on final order cutoff that you should be going on heavy or even a little bit. Maybe the cover lover picks I talked about earlier, you guys can pick up a couple extra copies, especially if you're ordering them on final order cutoff because you can get them on a discount, but really, I would say save your money. There is nothing super strong about any of those books, in my opinion. That Origin of Deathstroke is such a lie, and those other books really just weren't all that exciting. Maybe the Origin of Verdict for the Harley Quinn book, but when will we ever see Verdict on the big screen or small screen? I don't think we'll ever see that character, so I'm gonna go ahead and say save your money. Save your money, or maybe spend it on New Comic Day. Let's go ahead and find out. Alright guys, it is finally time to dive into our New Comic Book Day spec picks for next week's New Comic Day, which is June 8th of 2022. Guys, I have 4 cover lover picks and 2 spec picks for this week's upcoming New Comic Day, so strap in and let's go ahead and dive in to my cover lover picks. Alright guys, the first book up on our cover lover picks is the book that I have been talking about for months now. This book has been delayed over and over again, and I'm talking about Star Wars Tale Chrysantan number 1. I probably totally butchered his name, but guys, stick with me. Look at the cover, you know what I'm talking about, and this is the photo variant. This is a 112-page book of reprinted stories including Star Wars number 14, 15, and number 20, and also Dr. Aphra Annual number 1. But the main thing, what I think people are really going to enjoy, is this photo cover of the Black Chrysantan, the Black Wookiee. He looks so goddamn badass on this cover, and I think Star Wars fans are going to want this cover. So I suggest, if you guys find this cover out in the wild, pick it up and see what this does on the secondary market. I think you guys might be able to flip this for some extra cash. The next cover that I really like is Savage Avengers number 2, the Jenny Frison cover featuring Cloak and Dagger. I am a huge Jenny Frison fan, and I know a lot of people out there are also huge fans, but this Cloak and Dagger cover that she did is absolutely gorgeous. And the next cover that I really like is Batman Killing Time number 4, the 1 in 25 variant cover done by Ben Oliver, featuring none other than Catwoman. There have been so many amazing Catwoman covers as of late, and you can go ahead and just add this one to the list, in my opinion. Now, is this book going to do as well as the Catwoman number 43 1 in 25 incentive cover done by Sozomaka? No, I don't think it is, but I do think this book might do well in the future because I really think this is a gorgeous Catwoman cover. And we're going to end this list with 2 Poison Ivy books, so I actually have 5 cover lover picks for you guys. And the first one up is Poison Ivy number 1, the Dan Moore D cover. I think this is the best out of all of the Poison Ivy number 1 covers, in my opinion. There are some other ones that are more sexy, but I think this one is just absolutely gorgeous. Dan Moore's art is some of the best out there right now, and this was an open order book, so you guys should be able to find this out in the wild for your own collection, but I think this might do well on the secondary market. Most likely not, but guys, I really like this cover, and if this book does do really well, I'm giving you the heads up now. You guys can go ahead and pick yourself up one of those books, but the second cover that I really like is an exclusive book. This is Poison Ivy number 1, the David Nakayama Slab City exclusive variant. You can pick this up on slabcity.com. I'll have a link for it down in the description below. And this cover is so cool. It's an homage. I'm not sure to which Batman issue. I will go ahead and put that on screen right here, but it is gorgeous. I love this cover. David Nakayama is also an amazing cover artist right now. He's doing so many good covers, and I love this cover. It's not over sexualized. It has enough sexy to be sexy, and you also have the inclusion of Batman and Robin, and it's also an homage cover, which is so cool. Alright guys, those are all my cover lover picks for next week's New Comic Book Day. Let's go ahead and dive into the 2 books. That's right, only 2 books on my spec list for next week's New Comic Book Day. Now, if you guys have the Key Collector app and you have access to the Future Key section through your subscription, you will see that there are 23 books that the Key Collector says has speculation. But from those 23 books, there are 2 books that I think you guys might want to consider speculating on. And the first one up is an indie title, and that is The Ward #1. This is a 4-issue medical drama about a secret hospital that tends to supernatural creatures. Now, why I put this book on this list? Because I could see this being turned into a series in the future on a Netflix, a Hulu, a CW show, or any one of those. Now, if this book is turned into a TV show and is not on an Amazon, Netflix, or HBO, you're probably not going to see as big of a return. So if it lands on Hulu or CW, you're probably not going to see a giant return on this book. But I think the overall concept is perfect. Perfect for a supernatural TV show. It's such a cool idea. I really, really like it. It'd basically be like ER, but supernatural, and that is awesome in my opinion. But I would suggest not going heavy on this book. Pick up a couple extra copies, put them away, and just see what happens in the future. I think it's a really cool concept, and you can't go wrong, in my opinion, by lightly speculating on an indie title. And the second book, and the final book on my new comic book day spec list, is Flashpoint Beyond #2. This has the first appearance of Gilda Dent as Two-Face. And the main reason why I like this book, and I'm sure some of you guys are rolling your eyes at the fact that I picked Flashpoint Beyond #2 as a book to speculate on, but I can see HBO Max or the CW putting a female version of Two-Face on the big or small screen. And I can see them pushing a female actress to the forefront as the character Two-Face. Or maybe Multiverse of Madness type story, and we get an alternate version of Two-Face on a Batman TV show, like I said, on HBO Max or the CW. So I think there could be a really good chance that we see Gilda Dent as Two-Face in the future. Not right now, but in the future. So pick up a couple extra copies of this book and squirrel them away and see what happens. And that's what speculation is all about, predicting the future. Alright guys, those are all my speculation picks for this weekend's final order cutoff and next week's new comic book day. You guys have made it to the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around this long. If you guys could take a second right now and leave a comment down below letting me know if you guys liked any of the books that I spoke about in today's video, or if you think any of the books that I said, hey guys, speculate on this book, are absolute garbage, guys, let me know down in the comments. Also, if I missed a book, also let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel, consider subscribing, hit that bell for notifications, and smash that like button. And if you guys are already subscribers, consider becoming a channel member for just $4.99 a month. You guys support Stephanie and I making this channel bigger and better, and you also get an entry in to our end of the month giveaway, which is 1 mystery box for 1 lucky channel member that will be filled with at least $50 worth of comic books. Guys, we now have 9 channel members, so you still have a really good chance month after month to win this mystery box. And as we get more and more members, I'll either have multiple mystery boxes that go out each month, or I'll make the mystery box bigger and bigger. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one, which will most likely be Monday. Alright guys, the next 10 seconds are for my amazing 9 channel members. Alright guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.